Hey friend, welcome to Breaking Free, 14 Days to Food Peace. This is a real conversation for the woman who's tired of starting over, afraid of food, and ready to feel like herself again. See, in this series, it's going to speak to the woman who's tried it all. She's tracked it all, and she feels like she's losing the battle with food, her body, and herself. Does that sound familiar? I'm Cassie Covey. I'm a coach, a mom, and a former all-or-nothing perfectionist who's finally stopped living by food rules and started listening to her body. See, in this 14-day series, we're talking about what really keeps women stuck: the shame, the spirals, the mindset, the habits, and how to break free without another diet or reset or, starting over every Monday. See here, each episode is short, honest, and designed to speak directly to the part of you that's exhausted, but not done. Let's get into it. Episode 2, Emotional Eating Isn't What You Think. It's not. Let it sit for a minute. This is for you. You're done with dieting, done with shame, and ready to feel at peace with food and yourself. Today's episode is one I know that it's going to hit home with so many of you. Because we're talking about something that most of us have done, but almost none of us talk about without shame. And that's emotional eating. So let's start with this truth. Emotional eating isn't a flaw. It's a survival strategy that your body learned to protect you. All right, let that sink in. Just sit with it for a minute and let it sink in. See, if you've ever eaten when you weren't physically hungry, like just to soothe yourself or to numb out or to feel something or even to feel nothing. Have you felt like that before? I know I have. I've been there. I've totally been there. I've been there on all of those. See, you're not broken. Okay? You are not broken. Let me say it again. You are not broken. You're human. And more than that, your body was trying to help you cope. It was totally trying to help you cope. See, we're going to redefine emotional eating, okay? Because most women have this belief that emotional eating is bad. Like it means that they're out of control or they're failing. And we need to flip that because that's another part of shame. And we need to let go of that part. Emotional eating at its core, it's adaptive. It's your body's way of saying something hurts. Let me soften the edges. See, here's what food can do. Food can comfort. Food can distract. Food can ground us when we're spinning. Have you ever been there? I know I've been there. I've been spinning so fast. So fast. And when you grow up in a world that teaches you to ignore your feelings, food often becomes the one place that you're allowed to feel something, or you feel nothing at all. That hit you? That hit me before. See, that's not weakness. That's survival. Now, does that hit you? Have you been there? You remember those days? You may still be there. Have you looked in the mirror and got honest with yourself? That's not weakness. That's survival. And that's where the shame comes in, because you're feeling shame around all of it. And you don't know how you can let this happen. And you don't even know how you let this happen. So that's how you're thinking you're weak, but it's not weakness. I'm going to remind you of that again. It's not weakness. It's not. I need you to hear that, okay? I need you to hear that, because it's part of letting go of the shame that comes with thinking that it's weakness. See, it's survival. That's what's been going on, is survival. So how do you know if you're eating from emotion or true hunger? Have you thought about that? Have you asked yourself that? I bet you haven't. But now you're going to. You're going to know how to. There are key differences. So get out your pen and paper. Like these are huge. This is part of the thing that's going to help you during this. And these are things that I go through with my clients, because once you identify these things, your world's going to change. I'm telling you, it's going to change. All right. So here are a few key differences. Write these down. Number 1, physical hunger, it builds up gradually. You feel it in your body. Like you might even get lightheaded. Your stomach might rumble, or you feel a little sluggish. Those are all signs of physical hunger. Number 2, emotional hunger. It feels urgent. You need it now. You know, it's sudden, it's specific. Like, I need this chocolate right now. It's often tied to a mood or stress or anxiety, boredom, loneliness. You had a bad day at work, you come home and you just start eating some candy, or you start eating some chips, or you just start eating something, or you just go look in your fridge. See, here's the twist. Both of those are valid. Yes, like even emotional hunger, it deserves your compassion, because sometimes the emotional need is more pressing than the physical one. And the answer, it's not to shame yourself. Like, not to shame yourself at all. It's to get curious, because you need to know these differences. See, I didn't even realize that I was emotional eating until I would catch myself and I was doing it. Okay, I'm going to take you to a time where I didn't even realize I was emotionally eating. All right, like I didn't realize it. Grief is my thing. Grief is where I can get lost in food. Totally get lost in food. So I was sitting there and I was feeling really, really hurt, really sad. And I just sat down with a bag of Doritos next to me. Yeah, Doritos were my thing, chips were my thing. And I looked down and I'm like, whoa, here I am. I'm looking for that cheesiest Dorito. And I look down and the whole bag of Doritos are gone. They're gone. Like, I didn't even realize that I was emotionally eating until that part, because I wasn't hungry. I wasn't hungry at all. But because I was overwhelmed, feelings came in. And I didn't want to feel those feelings. But eating that food, it made me feel okay in the moment. It made me feel better. See, the moment wasn't about the food. It was about the feeling. The food was my comfort. And the food replaced those feelings that I didn't want to feel. Does that sound familiar? Maybe your feelings are you're overwhelmed, or you're exhausted, or you just need anything to make you feel okay. And here's what I started to do. Instead of judging myself, I started to get curious, and I started to ask myself, what was I actually feeling? What did I really need? Like that question, those questions right there, and it flipped it for me. It helped me change my entire relationship with food. It helped me get honest with myself. It helped me to see, was I eating because I was hungry? No. I was eating because I was in my feelings and I didn't want to feel. I didn't want to feel. It's kind of like a drug addict doing drugs. You know, that's how I relate to it. It's kind of like that same thing. So if this is resonating with you, like you can relate to this, all right, I want to leave you with a few practical shifts. There's 4 of them to be exact. All right, so get your pen and paper out and write these down. These are going to be so helpful. So number 1, pause before you eat. Not to stop yourself. That's not what this is about. But this is about checking in. You're going to ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Number 2, drop the judgment. Emotional eating is not a failure. I cannot stress that enough. It's not a failure. So you're not doing anything wrong. You're doing the best you can with the tools you have been given. And I need to say that again, because so many times we judge ourselves and we are so hard on ourselves, and we think that we fail so much and that we're doing so much wrong. But let me tell you again, you're not doing anything wrong. You're doing the best you can with the tools that you've been given, because you don't know what you don't know. Number 3, give yourself permission. If you want the snack, have the snack. But do it with awareness. That's the key. Do it with awareness, not shame. That one shift breaks the binge cycle more than any restriction ever will. You hear that? Highlight it. Make it in bold. In total bold. Like huge. Okay? Number 4, find one other outlet that gives you comfort. A walk, maybe music, journaling, texting a friend. Food can still be part of your toolkit, but it doesn't have to be the only tool that you have. And I want to leave you with this other one. And I want you to think about this. I remember when I started my journey. Okay, I need to leave you with this part also. All right, I need to let you in on something and let you know about this, because maybe you can relate. Maybe you've been in this situation. So I was about 1 week into my journey. All right, and a friend of mine asked me if I wanted to go to a Mexican restaurant. And me and Mexican food, we get down. All right, I love me some Mexican food. But being 1 week into it, when I really dug deep, I was like, oh, that's not a good idea for me. And I was like, hey, I don't think I can go. And she said, well, it's just a Mexican restaurant. And I was like, well, let me rephrase it. Okay. And here's how I had to frame it so that it would make sense for me. Okay. Would you ask an alcoholic to go to a bar when they're 1 week out of rehab? And the answer is no, you wouldn't. Why would you put them into a place where you're tempting them to go back to something that they just can't do? It's their vice. Okay. So the Mexican restaurant was my vice. The food was my vice. And I knew by me being in that situation 1 week from when I started my journey, it wouldn't be good for me because it would be too tempting and I would go backwards because I had no control. Now, I don't know if you've ever felt like that. I don't know if you've been in those situations. But if I was 1 month into my journey, if I was 6 months into my journey, it would have been different. But 1 week? No. So there are times where you may not go around certain things and you may not be a part of certain things because you're just too tempted, because you're just starting out. You're seeing how you feel about things and you're getting to know your issues with food. Okay? Don't feel bad about that. Don't feel bad. Don't carry shame. Don't do any of that because you're getting to know yourself. You're getting to know your relationship with food, and anything that will put you backwards, you don't need to do. So I just need to share that because it was just on my heart. And I know that if I struggled with that, then many people, they probably are struggling with that now. So here's what I want you to do today. And it's only going to take about maybe 5 minutes. Okay. Journal this question. What am I actually feeling when I reach for food? So you might be surprised at what comes up. You might find it's not hunger at all. Like it's depletion or loneliness or overstimulation or boredom or sadness that you haven't had time to name. Let the answer guide your next step. All right. Don't let guilt guide your next step. If this episode helped you shift your view of emotional eating, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like share it with them. Send it to yourself again so you can hear it again. Message me if you want to talk more about it or you realize that you've been carrying around a lot of stuff with you about this. Let me know what you got out of this episode. Share it to your stories. I'll catch you on the next episode. If this episode hit home, take a second to breathe. So you're not broken. You're not failing. You're just stuck in a system that was never meant to support women like you. Like women carrying the weight of everyone else while trying to hold themselves together. I want to help you change that. So DM me the word weekend on Instagram and I'll send you a resource, a next step, or just a reminder that you're not doing this alone. And if you know another woman who needs to hear this, forward her this episode. Like, share it with her, send it to her, screenshot it, put it in your stories. Let her know that she's not alone either. I'll see you tomorrow for the next truth that you didn't know you needed.